Hey, so I'm thinking this is my second or third Hunter x Hunter video, and as per law, I can't do more than 5 without one being a list video dedicated to my top 10 nin abilities, but I'll level with you. Half of that top 10 is stuff you've already seen a million times if you watch Hunter x Hunter videos, so how about we come to an agreement? I'll do a top 5 and a bottom 5, and in exchange, you'll watch those videos, comment, like, and subscribe as you tend to do, and then you just not report me to the authorities. It's all you gotta do. Everybody wins. Deal? Cool. So, let's kick this off at 5 with... What do you want from me, man? You and I both know there was no way this wasn't gonna show up here. It's an enigma, a mystery as old as time, the primordial question. Some still go mad just at the thought of the daunting problem looming over their existence, but you're different. You're smart, solid even. So, I know you'll be able to do what no one has ever done before, and identify the two properties of this eldritch-like energy substance known only as bungee gum. Correct answers get shoutouts in the bottom 5 video, so be sure to do your research, and remember, the more powerful the opponent, the bigger your boner better be. Okay, this is where we get a little serious, cause power like this shouldn't be taken lightly. Magic or not, a machine gun can do real damage.
I got my shins blown off by a Japan man's machine gun.
So, I think I can speak for all of us when I say one of the biggest letdowns in Hunter x Hunter was that not only did Kite die in a very abrupt and unceremonious way, we didn't get to see every slot in Crazy Slots. And look, you shouldn't gamble, especially with your life, but I'll be damned if I wasn't in for a few more rolls with Kite, cause we only see 3 slots out of 9, and one of those we don't even get to see in action, but the other 2 were so badass I'm kinda hard pressed to imagine what they would be. I mean, if a giant scythe is a bad roll and a gun is probably the weakest slot, what else could he have been packing in there? A space whale? A nuke? A picture of your mom? And what's crazy is, after Kite dies, we don't know if Crazy Slots is gone or not. And if it is, can Kite recreate it? I mean, Jing recreated Leorio's nin ability 1 for 1 and even upgrades it, so that's probably proof right there that Crazy Slots isn't completely gone, but the slots may be randomly based on anything, meaning it may not be the same outcome on rolls as before. But I did just mention Leorio, and surprisingly, he's in our 3rd spot. So, did anyone notice that Leorio's nin ability is kind of OP? And I mean that genuinely. When Leorio is introduced, he is the furthest thing from a competent fighter. But upon learning this one ability, his combat prowess shoots up 100%. Immediately he goes from pedestrian to someone who could make it a decent way up the Heaven's Arena Tower, and that's with no physical training at all. And simply because his one nin ability allows him so much possibility. I bet you never thought about this. With a little wit and ingenuity, Leorio can defend, deflect, or redirect attacks before they even get close to him, so whatever the range limit of his portals, yes, portals, he effectively has a dome around him that's not nearly impossible, but not nearly as simple to get into, and once inside, you are subject to whatever attack Leorio can dish out, and from any direction. It's actually a really pro-gamer move on Leorio's part to even put all his points into emission, and none into enhancement or transmutation, because if Leorio had a more powerful punch, or just a paralyzed touch, anything really would just put Leorio in a position to be top crop in any situation. So, yeah, Remote Punch didn't make it into the anime, and only got maybe 3 or 4 panels total throughout the story, but it's that good that it made it into my top 3 nin abilities. Which brings me to number 2. Moving fast is always a plus, so moving even fasterier? That's gotta be a real good time. Speed is fundamental. Some might even say Newtonian. But all throughout history, man has dreamed of going fast. Fast on the ground, fast in the sky, fast in the sea. But the problem with speed is, unless you can perceive just as fast, you run the vast risk of, well, running into something, Or worst case scenario, and I'm just spitballing here, you swat a fly at Mach 60 and the shockwave decimates a 10 block radius as you, your family, and most of the city are attending a parade that all your favorite celebrities and world leaders are in, specifically for the Parade Float Contest Award, of course. You survive and get life in prison, but again, that's just off the top of my head. I'm not so vivid as the likes of Vincent Van Gogh or Georgia O'Keeffe, but what I can say for certain is that most of, if not all, battles fought at the end of the day, aren't we all Speed? Oh. I think I might have mixed up two different scripts. Either way, Godspeed is one of those abilities it's hard to explain why you like it, other than that shit is just cool, man. It's just cool. Now, before we get to number one, I got some honorable mentions, so sit back and hear who mighta, coulda made it, but shoulda, woulda, didn't. Starting with Gone, who, can I be real, probably has one of the better finishes I've ever seen. Like, he's up there with the Rasengans and Kamehamehas of the world, because, let's look at it. Jajunkin could be one of three things. Rock, which is a supercharged punch that, if it had been as powerful as most other in-game nin abilities, there's no doubt in my mind that a rock that hits like an atomic bomb would have definite impact. Pun exclusively intended. In Scissors, same treatment. A blazing energy sword. Cowabunga, more like Kuwabara. And no, that wasn't a good joke, but I'm showing you that a miss looks better than no shot at all. And no, that won't work in a real game, but you get the idea. I won't even take long on paper, because that's just an energy blast, and we're all familiar. I just wish Gon had had time to hone his skills and show a little more, but our next mention looks just like Gon, but is a lot less honorable. Jing, and this guy is what deadbeat dads everywhere aspire to be. I mean, this guy. Not only is his nin ability still pretty much unknown, we don't even know his nin type, and the man did everything but take care of his kid, and I mean everything but. Fam is a world-class hunter, top 5 in the world, made a whole real island the site for a fantasy Yu-Gi-Oh style TCRPG, which is operated partly on his nin, at least until the game is beaten, but that's neither here nor there, cause our last mention might be the most honorable of them all. Zeno Zoldyck, the oldest, boldest assassin, and you can tell Zeno comes from a different time because the man is still using dragons. And while dragons never go out of style, I don't think Zeno was trying to be retro, but don't ever play with the dragons. It doesn't matter if they're made of fire, water, poison, unidentified. You just don't F with dragons because dragons will F with you. But those are my HMs. And I can guarantee you're not going to guess what my number one nin ability in all of Hunter x Hunter is, and I'll just give you a few seconds to shout and answer at the screen. Just guess. Right, so my number one favorite nin ability in the entirety of Hunter x Hunter, anime and manga, is Pakel's Rainbow. And yes, I'm a doofus who likes stupid things, but come on, man, rainbow arrows. And we don't even know what most of them do thanks to his untimely, we'll say, leave. But had that not happened, I think Pakel would have been a mainstay. However, I do chalk that up to Togashi erasing ties to old arcs once he's fully done with them, but it's fine because even with what little we get, piqued my interest enough to shoot Rainbow all the way to number 1. And special offer here, if this video gets 200 likes, I'll do a whole in-depth video on Rainbow and what I think the other colors could have done. But for now, that's all I got. Remember to subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to support, hit the thanks or join button. Every little bit is gravy on my taters, so I hope you enjoyed the video, cause I appreciate you watching, and until next time, peace.
That thunder on me clap, make a nigga think before he act. Have a nigga dying on his back, then we double back. Shooters leaving rubber where you at, that's why niggas never wanna match.